growing tea organically, meaning that you have to, it's without chemical, without anything hazardous to the health or to the environment. So basically, organic means we use organic, we use nature. So this is arun. As you can see, the flavor is the color is very mild.
And this is the white tea.
That's the white tea, the tips, and it's plucked in the early morning.
Yeah, it's got a very mild, fresh flavor. Yeah. Sawasdee krap. I'm Michael New, and this is Thailand Today. I'm in Chiang Mai province at the Araksa Tea Garden, enjoying an award-winning tea. But just how good is an award-winning tea, and what goes into it? Oh, it's so good. To find out more about this award-winning tea plantation, we're joined by Araksa Tea Garden CEO, Khun Chananya Phataraprasit. Sawasdee krap. Thank you for inviting us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming here.
It's our pleasure. The first question I have for you is, what sets your tea plantation apart from, say, a regular tea farm?
Well, I think the most obvious one is that we are organic. We are USDA and EU certified organic, and we are organic from the very start, from within the garden into tea processing and even tea packing. So the whole process of what we do here is all about being organic, and of course we also practice sustainability. We work with local communities, we work with the environment here, we do reforestation, many things. We have been in here, this area, for a long time.
Can you talk a little bit more about the process of growing tea organically? What goes into that?
Well, growing tea organically, meaning that you have to, it's without chemical, without anything hazardous to the health or to the environment. So basically, organic means we use organic, we use nature as a way of, for example, for fertilizer, we use natural fertilizer. Pesticides, we use natural herbs or plants that are naturally pest
I see. Okay, there's just certain smells maybe that insects just don't like.
Yes, things like that. And then in the factory, when we use cleaning solution, they're all organic cleaning solution. The oils that wheel the machines are like virgin coconut oil, all sorts of things that goes into making it fully organic.
And do you feel that this produces a better quality tea?
I think the quality of tea really has to do with the process in which we make tea and the type of tea we grow in the environment we are in, and also the art of tea making and the manipulation of the plants that we do organically. So, but what it does help is that I don't know if it's just me personally, but many of our clients who say, your tea tastes very clean, and it's very fresh and very clean. So that's something that people sometimes take on when they drink our tea and experience.
And I think there's this idea that tea is always the same. So many people are used to getting those tea bags where it's all crushed up and then you just put it in hot water, and it tastes okay, and you usually have to add milk or sugar to it. But I'm surprised that there isn't more of a love of tea like there is around coffee, for example. What are some aspects of tea flavor that are brought out by how you grow it?
So actually there are a huge variety of tea. I think maybe in Thailand we have less of passion for tea. I think more for coffee, but tea is also a lot have to do with the art of making tea, the sensories and the flavor. So there, like for here at Araksa, we make almost 20 variety of teas. Some of them are pure tea, some of them we blend.
So sorry, pure tea? What do you mean by pure tea?
Pure tea is just that it's only using our leaves and making in different processes and not blending. Some of them we
I see,
blend
okay.
with, for example, we blend one tea with Magnolia champaka,
I see,
which is the
okay.
jumpy flower, and something like that. So then everything we do is natural, and so it's the whole process. So yes, tea, I believe, has a lot of variety and a lot of things you can do with tea.
But speaking of leaves, I noticed in your garden that you're growing tea underneath trees. Is that a common practice?
It's not a common practice, maybe in Asia and Japan and in China, but many tea gardens you see in India or in Sri Lanka, they also what they call shade trees. So it yields a different flavor. Like for us, we can tell the difference between where area we're heavily shaded and where area we don't have so much shade. That when you have a lot more shade, you get this kind of umami, well-rounded taste. In Japan, sometimes they put a net or covering over the tea leaves before they harvest to create the umami flavor in their tea. So yes, it's different. Yeah.
So you would say that tea grown in the shade actually retains more of its flavor?
I wouldn't say that.
Or a different flavor?
A different flavor, yes. But sun also, exposure to sunlight, it's a development. It's more oxidation, more, the enzymes break down in a different way. Yeah.
Let's talk about misconceptions about tea for a moment. I know there's this idea that black tea and green tea are two totally different plants, but that's not the case, right?
No, all tea are made from the same tea plant. Just there are different tea species, and it's making tea from the same tea plant. It depends only on the processing. So there's white tea, green tea, black tea, and some oolong falls somewhere in between that. Yeah.
And this would be a fermentation process or drying process of the tea?
Well, it has to do with oxidation. It has to do with fermentation. So, for example, easy is white tea. White tea is, you think of white, you think purity, the purest form. So white tea basically is no processing. You pluck and you let it dry naturally until it dries up. In the old days, people would dry out in the sun. So that's the purest form.
And this would probably be a lighter taste?
It's a lighter taste, yes. Yes, it depends on the leaf level you pluck.
And how many you put in
and
the
yes, but
water.
it's lighter. Yes, it's lighter and milder. Yes, and then green tea is just like green. You think of the green color. How do you keep it green? Like Japanese tea, it's very green. So what they do is you pluck immediately and you stop. What they determine tea is arrest oxidation, stop oxidation. So in Japan commonly they would steam it. Here we do like what in China do. We put it in the pan and we pan roast in cast iron wok to stop the oxidation. Then we roll and then we dry in the dryer. And then black tea is what you do is you get it to have oxidation. So you might wither the leaves overnight on a withering trough. That's what or people lay down mats or something. And then the next day you would roll it, bruising the leaves more, and then you would put them on fermentation table.
Oh, so you're bruising the leaves. Is that because you're increasing the surface area so that when you put it in the water?
You're increasing the surface area as if you're crushing more, so you're exposing more enzymes, you're developing. So then you imagine you wither that, and you ferment that, so it gets more oxygen and fermentation. So then it depends on the time you ferment, the desired taste that you want to achieve. Yeah.
Now, when I first asked you about what sets your tea plantation apart from a regular farm, you talked about how it's organic, but also how you're trying to be a part of nature and the community. There's this big push nowadays in Thailand towards BCG, biocircular green economy. Can you explain how your tea garden fits into that concept?
Yeah, so maybe I start off with the name Araksa. Araksa means preserve. So that's the core of what we do is preservation. We preserve the environment, the local environment in the area, the environment for the people here and for those who come and visit us. Secondly, we preserve the community and social well-being. So everybody we employ here except Raju, our manager here from Darjeeling, and another manager from Bangkok, but everybody else is here are all from local community. I personally have worked in this community for 30 years. We have a lodge near here, so we have been part of the community and working with them for a long time. And then aside from that, is the next one is preservation of the well-being of people who drink our teas. That our tea is good for people and good for the workers who work here because it's organically. And lastly is preservation of traditions. We try to keep the tradition of old way of making tea. We also keep the tradition of blending Thai herbs and everything within our tea to highlight the uniqueness of being Thai. So that's really what the pillars of Araksa, which happens to be the same as the CBD economic model. Yeah.
So you actually offer flavors which are unique to Thailand.
Yes. Yeah.
As a result of this, which I think is pretty cool. I understand that you have a bunch of tea products for us to try.
Yes.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to that, but we'll have to wait until after the break. Don't go away, we'll be back with more of Thailand today.
NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Thailand Today. We continue our discussion with Khun Chananya on Araksa Tea Garden's operations and offerings.
Yes, so here we have a range of teas that we have selected for this occasion. Most of them are our award-winning teas. So,
And this alarm means that the tea has been brewed for just long enough?
Yes, just long enough. Then we have every tea has different times that required in brewing. The temperature of the water is very important. Tea brewing, and at the same time the duration of the steeping,
And this will vary according to different types of tea.
Yes, according to it.
Now, I seem to remember that it's maybe about 70 degrees for green tea and maybe 85 for a black tea. Is that right?
Yes, we do around 80 here for green tea. For white tea, can range from 70 to 80.
Okay.
Yes.
So a stronger tea would require a hotter temperature?
Yes. A stronger tea requires a hotter temperature so that it will, do a very strong extraction from the tea leaves.
Okay, I see. Let's talk about the actual property that you have here. How big is it?
The land here is close to 300 rai.
300 rai.
Yes.
You were telling me during the break that you purchased it by accident?
Not purchased by accident. We had the intention to purchase it, but we actually purchased it with tea garden. We didn't know with the intention to purchase that there was actually a tea garden
There's
here.
tea garden on it.
When we did the due diligence on Langwat in Thai, we found that there were tea gardens here because it was left abandoned for 15 years. It was
okay,
overgrown by jungle. So you'll see that our tea is not leveled and has a lot of patches in between. It's because it was overgrown by plants or fallen trees or something. So we're now, the last 5 years, we have been implanting to really fill up our garden.
But you've managed to maintain some of those older original trees as well?
Yes, the majority of the tea plants you see, the big ones here, are all the original.
And tea will grow into a full tree?
Yes, it will grow into full tree, but in a tea garden, we prune it. Actually, tea is pretty much like bonsaiing.
I see, okay.
Most of the tea we have here are about 50 years old.
So they do get quite old, but you keep them fairly small,
Yes.
and then typically you're only harvesting the fresh shoots?
Yes, we're harvesting only the fresh shoots, and that's why we prune them. What we do is we make tea tables, so it's easy for the pluckers to pluck on the table.
Oh, so it's all flat on the top. So
Yes.
very much like topiary
Yes.
or what was it, bonsai?
Bonsai, yes.
You said these were a selection of your award-winning teas.
Yes, 5 of them are the selection of award-winning teas. So over the course of, actually during COVID, we started, because we've only been making teas for 4 years. Yes, so after in 2021, we decided to submit some of our teas to APIA, which is an international tea award certification, and it's based in France. So the tea that we won is white tea, which is these two, is Arun.
And it's just ready.
Yes,
okay.
Arun and Sayan white tea. Arun, it's because it's plucked early in the morning, and Sayan is plucked in the evening. So what's special about these teas are their silver tips. So silver tips are the very tip of what they call buds, tea buds. And they're probably the most prized tea, because in there you will be actually, sorry I'm doing this, but there are 2 tea leaves inside the bud. So when you pluck this, you're losing the next level of plucking.
I see.
So they're very, considered prized tea leaves.
Because if you had let it just grow, then you would have had a full tea leaf.
Yes, and there studies have been done on them, and we do send our teas to be tested, and they're really high in antioxidant, polyphenol, catechin, because of the concentration within the tea buds. Green tea is this one is, we didn't submit for the awards because the awards green tea is very common, so we chose not to do that. But this is our whole leaf green tea. So our whole leaf green tea is a bud and 2 leaves.
So you're talking about certification. Well, what does that entail exactly?
So certification for organic.
Okay.
Yes, certification for USDA and EU organic, which is a very strict process. We get audited every year, and every day that we're producing tea or we are open, we have to log in and record all our what we do, how we manage our waste, what kind of
every day.
Every day. Every day we have to be accountable. Every tea we manufacture, how much fresh leaves go in, how much dry leaves we get out, what's the difference, where are they, what do we do with the waste, to everything.
Incidentally, what do you do with the waste?
So we compost. We put it right
Compost
back into
and you
the
put
ground.
it back into the
Yes.
farm.
Yes. So the next tea that I believe is Nin black tea, which is just showing a typical black tea, and also one of our tea manager here's specialty, because he's from Darjeeling.
Yeah.
So
Which is an area famous for its tea.
Yes. And the next one is Araksa Thai tea. So this one we're very proud of. We won silver medal. It's basically, a lot of Thai tea that are sold in the market that are not all natural. So this is our all natural, organic certified Thai tea. You can have it with milk, you can have it with condensed milk, you can have it organic sugar. So it's a healthy version of the Thai tea you see out in the market.
I'm wondering if I'm going to get to sleep tonight after I try all this tea. How does the caffeine content of tea compare to coffee?
Okay, that's a very big and very long question, but try to make it simple. In the tea plant, caffeine is on the top.
Okay.
So many people believe that white tea, like probably the highest caffeine content, but it all depends on how you brew it. So if you have high heat, which we normally don't brew that with high heat. If high heat, it will be like boiling and extracting the caffeine.
So your body won't extract the caffeine.
No, I
if
mean
it's
the
not
heat
high enough.
will not extract it. The hot water will not extract it into the cup as strong. So the release of caffeine is much less and not as intense.
So it's the same amount, just over time.
Yes. So, but normally, then the surface area is not cut. Like black tea is commonly in this form, sliced and cut. So black tea has more surface area, and you brew with high heat, so that it's a stronger extraction of caffeine.
I see.
So it depends really how the tea is processed. We have another tea of ours, silk tea. which is not made from silk. It's really it's smooth like silk. The aroma is very soft and subtle. It's what we created this tea to represent the floral and fauna of our garden, the smell. And this tea is actually, when we send it to test, it's very low in caffeine. It's like, almost like decaffeinated tea. So we have some of, and that's a tea also that won an award, our silk tea. And our gold winner is being brewed now, which is the blue fly, which is a blend of butterfly pea and lemongrass. And when I talk
That's this one here, right?
Yes, that's when I talk to you about how we incorporate local way and local know-how. So we incorporate local know-how to really capture and retain the oil of the lemongrass to make it very unique flavor to our tea.
One last quick question before we get to the tasting part.
Yes.
Which is, in addition to selling tea, you also have a lodge and you host tours here as well. So for people who want to come and experience it, they can. And how would they do that?
So they can contact us through Asian Oasis, which is our sister company, and go to the website of Asian Oasis.
Okay. All right, let's get to the exciting part.
Okay, you
now,
can
is this like
first
wine
start-
where you need a spit bucket?
Yes, we have a spit bucket.
Oh, you actually do have a spit. I was just kidding, but
No, we do have it.
I'm not sophisticated, and I will drink all this tea.
Okay. So this is Arun. As you can see, the flavor is the color is very, very mild.
This is the white tea.
That's the white tea, the tips, and it's plucked in the early morning.
Yeah, it's got a very mild, fresh flavor. Yeah. And this one is also white tea, but plucked
Plucked in the evening.
In the evening.
So basically, it gets the sun throughout the day before we pluck it. And
It tastes a little bit stronger. This one felt a little milder, maybe a little, I don't want to say,
greener.
yeah.
It's greener, yes. Because at night it's got the frost and everything on the tips, and we pluck it early in the morning, so it's not exposed and not as mature as the Saiyan. There are some months that we will not be plucking the teas like that because we want the tea plant to rest. That's usually April and May.
Oh, during the hottest, driest
Yes.
time of the year.
Yes.
Okay. This one was a green tea?
Green tea.
Green tea. And so this is dried and fermented a little bit?
No fermentation.
No fermentation.
And yes, just immediately we put in the cast iron wok. We arrest the oxidation, and we rolled. We hand roll and we put it in the dryer.
Well, this one has a strong matcha flavor.
The next one is our silk tea.
Yeah, very smooth. It tastes a little bit like oolong, or maybe I'm just...
Yes, it's very close to oolong. The processing is very close to oolong. Many people say, is this a oolong tea? But we just make, sometimes we try not to brand our tea and put it in category,
Right.
because we just want to make something that captures whatever spirit we want to convey. And this one does very
Well, it's got
well
a
in the
very
US.
excellent flavor.
US market, it does very well. So normally, if tea, usually smell the tea
They
leaves.
smell the tea leaves as well.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's
then this
work our
one-
way up.
But it's a little bit cold now.
Okay. Oh, so typically you'd want to smell it right after.
Yes, and then
you had,
because you
finished
get
the
a little
pour.
bit of
'Cause
steam
you
from
get the
there,
steam.
so you know what you should be expecting in the cup. You know, to be able to brew well is also you able to get something, this aroma from the tea leaves into the cup too.
Okay, moving on, I guess.
Yes.
On
Sorry.
This one is a black tea, or a
This is Nin black tea. So we try to name everything Thai to highlight what we're doing here and highlights that it's from Thailand.
Yeah, this one's got a much stronger taste. Is it so? A black tea is typically what you might expect in Europe, where it's served with milk and sugar.
Yes, that would be mostly English breakfast, but yes, black tea. Our black tea is a characteristic of Darjeeling. That's where our tea manager comes from. So it's not like the Assam black tea, which is very dark and very black and very bold.
Yes, so this one I don't find too bitter. It almost has a little bit of a sweetness at the end, and it's totally fine to have by itself.
Yes.
Yeah, I typically prefer my own tea kind of more Chinese style, so I don't usually like adding things. And what sets this one apart from this one?
That's Thai tea.
This one's Thai tea. Okay. Wow, that's very different.
That has vanilla and
Yeah.
caramel, all natural and organic. So when here we serve it cold for guests with milk and sugar.
This one tastes like dessert.
Yes.
And I've forgotten what these ones are now.
This one is cow doi. So it's a blend of the silk tea that you had earlier
Yeah.
with, but in not a whole leaf, in a broken grade, with Thai mountain rice. So we grow mountain rice in our lodge. And so I wanted to highlight Thai rice. It's like a Japanese rice tea.
Yeah, I was
Hojicha.
going to say it reminds me a little bit, the burnt rice they put in lab.
Yes,
That kind of
yes, the
aftertaste
same
where,
concept.
yeah, it's very savory.
It's very savory, yes. So it's really good after a meal because it's like silk tea is already very low in caffeine.
Yep.
Plus it's 50% with rice. So this tea is very little caffeine in it.
I wouldn't even have thought of using rice in a tea, but actually that tastes very nice.
Yeah. The next one is, we call this New Moon tea. We launch this tea every Chinese New Year. It's made from...
Nothing to do with Twilight?
No. Calamansi orange, som jeet. Also,
So it's with the fruit.
with the fruit peel, and the fruit, we slice the fruit because it's small enough so that we put it into the tea rather than adding infusion or oil.
Yeah, it's got a very strong
so
citrus
it's a very
flavor.
citrus flavor, and people love this for making iced tea.
Yep, I could definitely see that. Yeah, you barely need to add any sugar to that. That's really delicious just as it is, and maybe just some ice.
The next one is blue fly.
Blue fly, and it is blue. Yeah, that's got that very Thai flavor. You often have anchan or butterfly pea with lime, and that's served as a drink,
Yes.
and often in cocktails as well. So I get that in this, but as a tea. I mean, the color alone makes that super cool.
Yeah, it does very well, this tea. And the last one is our new tea. It's dala. It's just made from dala and green tea blend.
Wow, that one has so much flavor. It's sour and fruity. Yeah, it almost tastes like passion fruit or like a crepe Suzette or something.
Yeah. So it basically is just a petal of the dala flower and our green tea, our tida green tea.
It's surprising that there's not fruit in there, because that has a
Yes.
very strong fruit flavor.
Yes, dala is known as a superfood, so also is green tea. So those we try to make very healthy teas.
This was super interesting. They're really so different and distinct to one another, and when you just have them prepared like this, you can really just appreciate the depth of flavor of the various teas. I think my favorite was probably the silk tea.
Oh, that's
like
great.
that a
That's
lot.
my favorite.
Okay, but the other ones are, I feel like these would be excellent if you had some people over and you wanted them to try different teas. Then you have a whole.
So yes, we do have tea workshops here for people to learn to blend tea.
And people
we have
can
tea
go visit your
sensory, and they
website
can see all this. Yes.
and come and enjoy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have today, but thank you so much. Once
You're
again,
very
Khun
welcome.
Chananya, if you love tea, or you want to learn more about the art of preparing tea, or just want to try a bunch of tea and walk around a beautiful tea garden next time you're in Chiang Mai, please check out Araksa Garden. That's it for our show today. We broadcast every Friday at 11 p.m. on NBT2 HD. and every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. on NBT World, as well as live on our NBT World YouTube channel. And don't forget to like and comment on our Facebook page, Thailand Today Online. I'm Michael New.